And I bet we're back. Let us know. Babe, it looks like I succeeded, though, in getting this other camera set up. That's awesome. All right, let's turn that down. I was trying to get this camera, what I did was I was trying to get this camera set up so that we could do some acupuncture and get cool camera angles going on. And so it looks like that worked out pretty good.
Are we on the spaceship still?
Say what?
Are we on the spaceship?
Yeah. Let's see. I don't even know what frame we're looking at. Maybe that one? Can you guys still hear us okay? Nice. All right. Technology. So let me turn this. There. Boom. Now we're going to be set. Sorry for that little interruption. I was trying to add a camera and it crashed OBS Studio, but we got it right, fired right back up.
So anyway, tell us what you were about to say about the ultrasound and acupuncture.
So yeah, that was just kind of like serendipity, I guess, that I found out that acupuncture works in more ways than one. It's not just an energy medicine. It's not just voodoo, but all of these CB2 receptors that are all over the body. When you're getting acupuncture needles, you're stimulating those receptors, and they've done research and they've put a patient in there before and after acupuncture treatment, and afterwards the body is lit up like a Christmas tree. All of these receptors are like ding 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 because they have been stimulated, and now you're releasing and upregulating your system. So there's more than one way, like I was saying, to upregulate the endocannabinoid system, and acupuncture is a marvelous way to do it as well.
Right.
I've never tried it.
Never had acupuncture?
No, we don't have to be quiet though.
You know, it
I
works.
think I'll take it like a champ.
It works really well when you can relax.
Yeah.
And just let the energy work. And I can throw some needles in some of those spots in your ears and let you just feel it. Sometimes it doesn't take long at all. You know, sometimes it's just leave it in for 30 seconds and take it out, and you'll have the effects of that ongoing throughout the day.
Well, isn't that kind of like the same science of people who will get different parts of their ear pierced? Like, it relieves migraines and other things like that.
Absolutely. And I guess there's seeds, the acupressure does the same thing too. And a lot of those, you can leave in for days at a time and still get that relief and reach up there. And I forget how wonderful this treatment is, because sometimes if I'm stressed, I'll actually be stopped at a red light and throw one in my
Whoa, that's hardcore.
That's amazing. But there's I know I got my dad this acupressure bracelet to deal with chemotherapy for nausea.
Yeah. Do you know that is Neg1. So that is pericardium 6 is that point, and it is the best point for any GI upset. So when they started coming out with those bracelets, I thought, why didn't I think of that? I mean, I teach my patients that have nausea that's a great point.
Yeah. And
they can just kind of hit it without thinking. It's about 3 fingers on the inside of that vein that runs down.
It's right there.
About 3 fingers worth. And intention, that's the other thing that matters with acupuncture and like energy medicine, is you have that intention, and that goes a long way. And that's why some people hear they're sick and they've got 6 weeks to live, and they live 6 weeks and that's it. But some people, they take their own energy. They don't listen to the doctor, and they go, and then a year and a half later, their energy has kept them alive.
Right.
So that matters.
I know some people like that. We all do. That's why we're all here.
Yeah.
We're trying to end prohibition.
That's
Yes.
it. That's it. Well, I'm game if you're ready to do this.
Well,
I said I would. So we are game for this.
so
Only because I've done it.
which ear do you want to do?
Left.
Oh, and I can try and make my camera work now. Hopefully I don't crash this whole thing
Come
again.
to this side of you here.
Unfortunately, I've got them switched. I have the long cable on the... That's not going to help.
Can you see?
It's kind of trippy, though. Especially if I... let's see. Copy the filters from that camera. Don't crash, don't crash.
Don't crash,
Nice.
don't crash. We're getting to the nitty gritty.
It's not very much more... but I'm not switching that cable out.
So you're gonna watch me and then you're gonna do it?
Maybe.
So again, like, it's so similar to cannabis and what cannabis does when it regulates the system, and these points particularly. So the first
Wait,
point.
let me, you know what? You guys are going to we're going to put this thing into a little spin. We're going to do,
Is my ear really
we're
gonna
going to be
clear?
throttles, max, rudders, full opposite direction of spin, controls neutral, and recover from dive, something like that. I'm getting this camera off because I want a close up. I worked hard for this. Yeah.
Beautiful ear too, and you know, here's the thing again, intention. I'm going to keep saying intention. Everyone's body is not exactly the same, so sometimes in acupuncture you're kind of having to use intention because that point is not going to look the same on every person. But it's pretty easy right here. She's got a pretty normal ear. So this is the Shinmin. Deep breath. Now that one is my favorite point because it takes me down an instant 10 points. It's
Oh,
like,
it does.
and if you've never gotten acupuncture, here's what I'll tell you too. There was a few times in my early acupuncture days when I was receiving treatment and I would walk out of there feeling a little intoxicated. Didn't understand why.
Yeah. Like getting a massage.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, a lot of times.
So the second one that we do is the sympathetic, and that one
Wow.
regulates blood pressure, heart rate, respirations. It's it's homeostasis. It's all about balance. If there's too much,
Wait. Don't poke more stuff in there yet. Gotta fix that green screen.
So is that gonna make me more loving?
oh, it's just gonna make you feel good.
It's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
Now, do you twist yours?
You know, I generally don't. Sometimes what'll happen if one of these channels has an excess of energy, when you pull out that needle, you'll get a little bleeding. If it has a deficiency, when you try to pull out that needle, it doesn't want to come in. Kind of holds it a little bit, which they're all the same size. It's it's not a physiological reason why it should hold on to that needle.
Right. Well, I do feel very calm. I don't want to open my eyes.
Yeah, I think keeping your eyes closed is good. It kind of closes out some of the stimulus anyway, you know? Because when you're focused on other stuff, then it takes away from that energy flow.
Very nice.
Would you show them how big? I don't know if the camera's going to pick up the needle or not. Just how tiny it is.
Yeah.
It's pretty tiny.
We have 3 more.
Okay.
You ready
Okay.
for it? Do you want to look at the needle first?
No.
I mean, not you, but I guess the camera
Oh, yeah,
can kind
yeah.
of see, but I'm going to take
Yeah.
that out, and it's really, really tiny.
Yeah, you can't even pick it up.
So
It gets
yeah.
keyed out.
It's like a hair, right?
Yeah, there now with my shirt. Let me see if I can get it over the blue. Nope.
No. Maybe if I turn the Let me try this. Oh, wow. How about there?
Green. You still can really. You only see the handle, not the actual needle there. I mean,
Yeah.
they're so tiny, and I mean, you still feel a tiny needle.
It's not even as bad as an ant bite. You know, it's so minor. It's
I'm
not a
doing-
pinch.
I'm just gonna kind of drop my little trash right there, so it's not in my hand.
That's fine. If you want to give it.
Sorry, everybody. I'm going to stop jacking with this camera here in a second. That was way too disorienting. Oh,
It's good
Okay.
to have your eyes closed.
Oh yeah, that was
You get dizzy
probably
going in
Yeah.
circles.
now it's stable.
Okay, so this third one I'm gonna do is the kidney, and I guess this is fear. Okay, and let me tell you another interesting thing as I'm doing the ear. The ear has 280 acupuncture points on it. If you look at the ear, it's like an inverted fetus. So we have like, this is the head, this is the spine, this is the hips and the knees, and then we have all the organs inside. So we've got the kidney, the liver, and the lung down there. But just because it's also, it's not just about the body parts in Chinese medicine. Like I said, it connects to, all these channels connect to one another. We have, that's just the little thing. That is liver. Get it on that little ridge there. So liver, kidney is fear, liver is anger. So if you think about any kind of PTSD or addictions, those are some of the same similar emotions that people have. And then we have the lung, which is grief.
How far do those go in?
Not very far at all.
Like an 18th or 16th of an inch?
And it's really good if you
Millimeter.
uncross your hands, because you don't want to block off that energy. You want everything to be able to flow evenly without any kind of obstruction. So we were talking earlier about how, acupuncture, massage, all these other ways. Aromatherapy. Aromatherapy is huge. That it crosses over with cannabis as well, because we have terpenes, and we have terpenes in essential oils, and we have terpenes in cannabis, and that's why something purple that has linalool,
Yeah.
it gives you that relaxation.
Yep.
So these are just another tool to give you the whole relaxation effect, and it may be that it also gives you an uplifting, Most of the time with acupuncture, you sleep really well that night. It's like I was saying, you get a good night's sleep. It's just an overall good treatment to help bring about some homeostasis in your body, because we're always in this constant go.
See, this doesn't even hurt. This isn't stinging or anything.
And it looks fashionable.
Yeah,
I'm surprised that people don't walk around kind of with,
I do sometimes.
I mean, it looks like you've got antennas.
Oh, yeah?
Antennae? Antennae? I don't know. But yeah, that's
Feel
pretty
the
incredible.
energy.
Oh yeah, it's nice. It's like when you're getting a shot or something, you feel that and it stings, or if a needle pokes you, or like I did this morning. I stepped on a safety pin, and I'm like, "Ah!" This feels nothing like that.
Yeah.
And I mean, you feel it go in, but usually that intensity from that initial poke, it fades away, and then it's just there.
Right.
So if I'm doing this in the office, I'm telling people, let me know if you feel like it's still, maybe it did go a little too deep. We can back it out a little bit, but
Yeah, it's not like you're like jamming it, because isn't it just a tap tap tap, just real quick on it.
How about for that wristband, for the pressure point wristband? It's a Lego. That's Thinking America right
Hey,
there.
that's thinking, yeah.
It's put a Lego with some
Tape it
elastic.
on
I mean,
there?
talk about hitting some pressure points.
Uh-huh.
I've definitely.
Well, whoever came up with that's making a killing, because when I opened it, it was literally Velcro and little balls.
And you can
Yeah.
tighten it as much as you need to.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
You know, and that point really works. And it was like maybe a month ago, I was laying in bed and I was having some indigestion, and I was like, you know, what am I going to do? I just want to go to sleep. And it kind of hit me, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I know this point. And I did it, and it actually took it away. And I
Wow.
was like, okay, gee, you know, these are the tools that I know. And I just sometimes forget to use them on myself.
Well, I know I've done this one for years, you
Mhm.
know, for headaches
For
and stuff
headaches.
like that.
And I think that is Hegu, Hegu. That's Li4. So that's a large intestine channel.
Mm-hmm.
And it also, if you think about when we hold things in, that can be constipation. We hold things in, but I'll use that with patients for constipation.
Huh.
But I'll also use it when they have agitation and they're angry and they need to let something go. That tension from a headache, you need to let that go. Chinese medicine, just like cannabis medicine, has been around for a really long time. Chinese medicine used cannabis 5,000 years ago.
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
they call it ma.
Ma.
Ma. Beautiful.
Yeah, it is. Well, it's just fascinating. There's points all over the body. Like I do the pressurization of my pinky fingers, you know, for concentration before I go into a meeting, you know, because it's supposed to help with communication. And
That's a good one.
yeah.
Have you ever bitten your fingernails like that for
To
a long time?
concentrate?
No, and then done that?
Uh-uh.
Yeah, it's excruciating. I don't. Just for in
don't
case
know.
people ever come in looking for like the opposite of you know,
Oh,
relief.
comfort.
The
Like,
opposite of good.
If you light on
Tell them
your
to just bite.
bite down on your pinky fingernails for like I don't know, a minute. Just, you know, really crank down on them, not to where it hurts or whatever, but then like link them up and pull.
I don't know why that's reminded me of when I was a little girl. I'd put my arms in the door
Oh, I used to
and
do
push and
that.
push, and then you walk out of the door and your
And your
arms
arms
just
go.
kind of
Yeah, exactly. Totally. Yeah. Or like you'd have a friend like lift you up, or you'd lay prone like on your stomach, and somebody would lift your arms up over you and just hold them for a while, and then when they let them go, it felt like your arms were going like straight through the earth. Very indica feeling.
Yes. Yes.
Very. Do some of that. Do some of that and some little. And
There you go.
and rest and feel grounded.
Mhm.
Feel-
You, I'm so proud of you. Not only did you taught in Arkansas, right?
I did go and teach a class, the first class, a CEU course for nurses, and we had a lot of medical professionals come in Little Rock. And I mean, they're still struggling to get their medical program off the ground, but not for lack of the how do you say that, Arkansonians? We'll call 'em
Arkansans?
Arkansans. I was going to say Razorbacks.
Well, maybe not all of.
But yeah, I mean, you know, everybody is really excited to, especially these new states that are adding cannabis that actually have a good, well-written law. You
Right.
know, that it's going to be very helpful once they get it going.
Well, and you can also be seen coming up at something we're wanting to be at is the MJ for MDs Conference.
Yes, that is October 14th through the 16th here in Denver. Lots
I
of.
thought it was in Pueblo. It's
no,
here.
No, it's in
Oh, I
Denver.
totally wanna do
Yes. You Blushing is an author that wrote the Cannabis Health Index that has everything, and it's like the nurse's Bible.
Huh.
He's going to be speaking. A lot of great speakers there. So yes, get your tickets now. I think there's still a couple of days that they're on sale. And in August is the Cannabis Science Conference in Portland.
You're going to that?
That is going to be amazing. I will be speaking about cannabis for hospice patients there. And then there's the Cannabis Nurses Network that will be having a conference in San Diego in the date hasn't been solidified yet, but I think it's going to either be the last week of October or maybe the first week of November. And that will also incorporate a lot of holistic principles for, mainly for nurses, but other healthcare professionals or anybody can come. We'll love you out. So.
Awesome. Now, what was so important for me to come on here is because I want everybody to have access to my wonderful nurse Marcie.
Oh, thank you.
So, email address again. There's how can we get in touch with you?
Holistic Nurse Marcie at Gmail.
I'll post a link in the description.
Right. And they can just email you and set up a consultation then. They don't have to come to Colorado.
No, they don't, and I'll be more than happy to talk. Email. We can discuss prices. Of course, if you are on a fixed income or a veteran, I will 100% work with you. I'm not trying to gauge anybody. Whatever. I'm not trying to overprice anybody. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
I do this because I want to help.
Yeah.
So.
Right. And, I've watched you, work with some of the biggest and the greatest, and, you're right there on the panel with them. And so I'm just so excited to have you as a resource, because I get these calls. And, you don't want to guide people wrong, and having you that I can go, look, let me send you to, this very qualified nurse that knows all about this.
And it's very important to look at what medications you're taking, because somebody may have blood pressure meds on board and they start this high dose of cannabis and then their blood pressure bottoms out. So it's important to know what cannabis can affect, what medications you have to keep an eye on, and work with a nurse, a cannabis nurse, a physician that's knowledgeable, that's not going to, judge you and not understand why you're using cannabis.
Right.
Because it's a medicine.
Well, and with your guidance, they can also get some tips on how to talk to their doctor.
Yes.
Because that's really important.
It is.
Well, we are running out of time. Do you want to pull these out, or do you want to leave them in till after we?
I want to push on them some first. Just one.
No.
Let's do some experiments. We've got 5 of these things. We can take them out 5 different ways. How about one where you just put your finger on the end of it and then flick it and try and get it near the ear.
Okay, so and your hair's holding it in.
And that doesn't even. I didn't even flinch.
I did. So did Marcie. No, she's doing a great job. This looks, this doesn't look very, and the needles are really thin. They're maybe half the diameter of a typical, just like sewing pin.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe less than that.
Yeah.
It's,
I mean, you have
Like
Yeah.
a hair.
that's like two
Yeah,
of them
just a little
together. You
bit.
could barely see them still.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's not sore. I'm not bleeding.
You're not bleeding.
Mm-mm.
And sometimes you get a little dot. Looks like maybe that shin men's holding together.
Well, it was interesting when you did it one time. It was my kidney, and it was kind of sore. And it was a few days later I got a kidney infection.
huh.
But it wasn't from her. But it was something that was happening in my body
Oh,
that
yeah.
I was taking something that was aggravating my kidney. But it was interesting that spot was sore. It picked up on it.
Yeah.
So and it
And
wasn't.
it does. It's all connected. It's a micro system. Just like your hand, or in reflexology, you got foot
Right.
and hand, and
Right.
face, tongue. All of these microsystems.
Which reminds me, I have met a fabulous reflexologist, and when I met her, you just kept popping up in the back of my mind, so I've got to connect us all.
It was
Cool.
so fun to
All
be
right.
on the spaceship
Yeah,
today.
thank you. Let's see. It looks like traffic is moving well on I-70. Golden, everything's looking good. It's getting dark very, very quickly. People are doing about 280 miles an hour. But let me go back to my thing. We will land this airship. But thank you everybody for joining us. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. And that was really cool. First time I've ever even seen acupuncture. So.
You want to do it? You ready?
Huh? No? Maybe. But I'm gonna stop the I have so many mice and stuff. It's sometimes difficult to do that. So now I'm gonna do it like a champ. I'm gonna be like, boom! This airship is landing.
Perfect timing.
Yes. Yes.